Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast. Tonight we are talking about Palworld. That's right, Nintendo Pals played Palworld. We're giving our thoughts. We're talking about the controversy. We're talking about our experience with the game. And we're going to be covering, of course, all the latest Nintendo news, rumors, and more. Micah, are you ready to dive on in to the episode?
Yep.
Let's do it. Greetings, fellow Nintendo pals. My name is Andros, and I am joined by my fellow Nintendo pal, Micah.
Yep.
And Micah, I gotta ask, how the heck are you?
Pretty good.
That's good to hear. Hopefully the audio is coming through pretty good. Micah, why don't you say something crazy, like what have you been up to lately?
Not much.
Not much. Well, that's not much to go off of for my audio test. But I think we're good.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It kind of is. Kind of is a personal problem. I also already have you up at 200%, so I don't think we can do anything more. But speaking of 200%, you, listener, can give 200% to Nintendo Pals Podcast by leaving us a 5-star review on your podcast listening app of choice. It helps us to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts. And, you can do that over on Apple, Spotify, Podchaser, and Audible. All those places let you leave 5-star reviews. And we're currently in it's kind of become a huge battle between Spotify and Apple for 5-star reviews. Spotify, a smaller listener base, the underdog of the arena, is overtaking Apple in 5-star reviews. So it's time to settle this once and for all. Which podcast platform is better, Spotify or Apple Podcasts? So vote for your side by leaving a 5-star review for Nintendo Pals on your preferred platform. And maybe you're a chaos agent that likes to leave one in both. And to that, we commend you. Micah, that's all the housekeeping items I have. So what do you say we jump into our first segment? Let's talk what you playing. What have you been playing lately, Micah?
Well, like you mentioned, I have played a little bit of Palworld, but I think we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's going to be the our PAL topic. Now, for those that may be new around here, I never really, I just kind of throw people into the deep end. We don't really ever explain how this show works. We've got several segments. We usually start with what we've been playing, followed by the latest in Nintendo news, followed by rumors. And then we hit the community corner, which is engaging with the audience, with the listeners. We answer your questions. You answer our question. And then we close with the meat, the PAL topic. And the PAL topic this week is going to be all about Palworld. And are we suing for them taking our branding? Yeah. Pokemon Company,
We'll see.
They got nothing. We have the lawsuit. That's where we are. I think I'm legally obligated to say we are not actually suing Palworld. This is all a joke. We're having fun here. But besides Palworld, what have you been playing lately?
Well, I played the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown demo. I think that was within this last period.
Yes, it was.
And I did really enjoy it. But
nice.
Like we've mentioned before, it's a Ubisoft game, so I'll wait for it to go on sale before picking it up.
The sad truth.
Plus, I got other things to play.
The sad truth of Ubisoft games. Um,
Right.
what other things are you playing? You said you got other
Well,
things to play.
I got back into Risk of Rain 2 a little bit. Played a couple sessions of that.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
I feel like
The
we've kind of
classic.
played it though. There's not a lot left to do. Have we unlocked
Speak
everything?
for yourself. No.
No.
We got a bunch more artifact things to unlock if we want to. But those are kind of more of a hassle, I feel like. Because you gotta then go to that device on the last level and put the code in and then do the challenge.
Yeah.
But I actually did a new one the last time I played. When I played with Kyle.
Okay.
And it's like the trial of death or something. I can't remember what the artifact is called. Maybe it's the artifact of death. But when playing multiplayer, if anyone dies, everyone dies. Which sounds horrible.
That's terrible. I feel
Yeah,
like that would ruin our friendship.
absolutely. Absolutely.
With how much grief you gave me
Yeah,
that
I
one
don't think
time
I'll
that
ever use that.
I died on like the last level or something. I do you remember? Oh no, my game fell asleep. Do you remember that? Yeah, you
Yeah, I do remember that.
did.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I'm actually offended you think there's a chance I would forget about that.
That
But
was
all that stuff has been minor playtime. Almost all of my gaming has been Golden Sun and Golden Sun: The Lost Age.
ooh. All right. So
They're still fantastic.
nice. Good deal.
So how far are you into Golden Sun? Because I've talked it up so much, and you finally have a chance to play it.
Pass. I'll pass on that question.
Hmm. Who could have guessed?
You could have. And yet you still asked.
I could. I very much could. I actually, in fact, I have it in sleep mode.
Cool. Yeah, it's a
It's a
little
little
hard
bit
to
of
see.
spoiler for
Your
people who
webcam like struggles to
haven't
pick up
played the
anything.
first game.
Nice. Anything else you want to highlight that you played?
I think that's pretty much it.
Well, I've got news. I got exciting news, potentially, Micah.
Hmm.
I rolled credits on a game.
Hmm.
Finally.
Hmm.
I'm talking about Splatoon 3. I finished it finally.
Oh, nice. I was trying to think of what game. Every time
Yeah.
you say you have exciting news, I just immediately jump to, you got Metroid Prime Remastered and you're playing it?
I feel
And the
like
answer is always no.
when I do, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to play it and play it to
Yeah,
completion.
when you do. More like if you do.
Yeah. Play it to completion and never tell you. And we'll continue to go, and I'll be like a year later, be like, oh yeah, by the way, I beat. I always wanted to pull a prank like that.
I won't even believe you.
Yeah, I always wanted to pull a prank like that on my parents for like having a child to just not tell them
Not tell them.
and then call them
What
like
a hilarious prank.
call them like after the baby is born and be like, by the way, we had a baby today.
Not only that, you should just show up at their house the next day.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny. And I've got
Would
3
it?
kids. I've got 3 kids already. So it's like the 4th kid. Can they really be mad? They already had their.
I mean, it's not that exciting anymore.
Yeah. So we need to make it exciting by making it a total surprise.
Exactly.
Shadow
Yeah, well,
drop.
this is a
New
great
kid.
idea.
New kid. Shadow dropped. So yeah, I played Splatoon 3 and really enjoyed the last level. That
Wait.
final boss fight.
So you hold credits on the last level, not the secret kettle, right?
Yeah, not the secret kettle.
So you still got a little bit of work to do then.
Right.
I'll see you in a year when you finally get around to it.
Yeah, I know.
Tell
I
me
mean,
all about it.
the game's been out since like July of last year, right? It's been a while.
Yeah.
And So I'm late to the game talking about it, but that boss fight was very fun. It was very epic. I love spoilers here. All right, I'm spoiler tagging this here. So if you don't want to hear it, skip ahead like 30 seconds. But I loved Small Fry's transformation into Big Fry.
The big fry.
And then it's just a salmon versus a giant bear. A giant salmon versus a giant bear. How great is that?
In space.
In space. Yeah.
I
wasn't quite expecting it to go to space. But that final boss fight was really fun.
But every good Nintendo game does.
It's true. It's true.
The only other one I can actually think of real quick is Odyssey, but I'm sure there's been several.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Odyssey
Majora's
did do
Mask
that.
kind of counts because, I mean, the moon comes to you. It's close.
Besides that, I fired up a game this week that you and I haven't been playing for a long time, and that's Fortnite.
Spelunky 2.
No, I haven't played Spelunky 2 because I still am debating if I'm even going to, just to spite you. For your year.
So my plan's working then.
But yeah,
It's
I fired
all
up
the reverse
Fortnite.
psychology to get you to stop.
I fired up Fortnite and got Snake from Metal Gear Solid because he is in the game now.
Nice.
And I had enough to get the battle pass, and I somehow have 35 levels. And I was like, who's been playing on my account? Apparently my wife has been playing with my son on occasion, and so and I've played with him a few times. It's usually like a couple matches, and then I'm kind of like Fortnite'd out. But I already had enough levels to get V-Bucks enough to cover a future battle pass if I need. So that's cool. Also played a little bit of Suika game. And besides that, not much else in the world of Nintendo. Continuing my playing of Pokemon Go and having a blast with that. I have fallen off Pokemon sleep once again. It's like
I noticed, yeah. I think it lasted like 2 days, maybe 3.
no, it lasted like a week. That's how much I needed in order to get the reward. The Snorlax. I need to play more to get the rewards in Pokemon Go, but the game is so not engaging to me. I just don't care.
Wait, you can get rewards? I feel like you've explained this before, but
Yeah, but you need the
rewards in
Pokeball Plus
Go.
Plus to get.
Oh, that's right.
To get the rewards. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I got. That's what I got going. And that's what I've been playing. So besides Palworld, of course. And then you and I, in the world of Nintendo, if anybody's curious what we're playing Nintendo related, we played a lot of Lethal Company. I've been streaming a lot of Lethal Company over on Andros 1. And, yeah, some great multiplayer fun and shenanigans in that. And we also have been playing Baldur's Gate 3. I am making progress in... I have 2 campaigns going. I've got one with Micah and our gaming pals, and then I have one with my wife, and so I'm making slow progress in both. We're making slow progress in both. Yep. So that's it for what you're playing. Let's jump over and talk some Nintendo news. I think there's a lot of news to cover. I think. But where do we start? I guess we'll start with this one. This one was pretty exciting for me. And each and every week, our news is brought to you by Monkey Thunder over on Discord. Monkey Thunder, thank you. You are awesome. Thank you for providing so many links to news articles. I mean, in addition to research we do, and, you know, sometimes people beat Monkey Thunder to the punch and post news before he does.
Happens.
It's rare. It's rare.
At least once. Maybe only once.
But Mom Hid My Game is getting a physical release collection with all 4 games in the series, which includes Mom Hid My Game, Mom Hid My Game 2, and hide and dance, and I think it's like my brother ate my pudding. I think it's the fourth one,
Yeah.
something like that. And yeah, so I'm excited for this. I depending on the price on this, I might pick this up. I'm a big enough fan of Mom Hid My Game that I would be willing to double dip to support the devs and to have it physically. I think that's cool. But we'll see. We'll see on pricing. I didn't see how much it was going to cost. And that's it for that news item. Micah, you want to hit us with the next one?
Yeah, there'll be a Princess Peach Showtime themed Joy-Con thingy happening. They're just like pastel pink Joy-Cons. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It'll be
I like them.
available at select retailers and a My Nintendo store for a limited time.
I like them. I think they look good. I kind of wish that they would do a bundle with this Joy-Con color because, like, I think like for my daughter, like this would be a really fun, to get her like a Princess Peach themed Switch would be cool. But that's yeah. And Monkey Thunder posted this one as well. I like that he pointed this out, that Mario was not nominated for Best Animated Picture nor Best Original Song at the Oscars this year, which just goes to
Obviously,
show.
the Oscars are garbage.
Yeah. Yep. Just
They're
goes to show
meaningless.
how far the Oscars have fallen from what the people want, and that's Peaches by Jack Black. That's what we want. Yeah. But that's hey, that's okay because it sold over $1 billion and is like the third gross greatest grossing animated movie of all time. And so Legend of Zelda is coming next. Gonna take it. And I assume we're gonna see more Mario movies. Like a sequel would be cool.
Seems like that'd be a good idea,
Yep.
but you never know.
Never know. We do never know. What's our next news item, Micah?
Well, once again, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is adding some more spirits, including Zagreus from Hades.
Oh, what? What? I didn't see this. What?
You didn't see this, and
Why?
also spirits from WBSCE Baseball Power Pros
Yeah, that one that's in the Olympics.
and more. Yeah, I didn't look into this too much.
That is.
I mostly saw the Hades ones.
What is going on over there? Why are they adding these? Like, they're just like, yeah, let's throw these in there for fun. Like, this is like, what weird crossovers? Does that mean we're gonna see Hades in Smash Bros. Ultimate 2?
There's a chance.
And by Hades, I mean Zagreus,
But,
not Hades himself.
yeah.
That would be
Who knows?
such a
Maybe
cool fighter.
Smash Bros. Ultimate +2, they'll just take every single spirit and make them a character. Just have like 2,000 characters in the roster.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, but I'm just baffled by how they they don't do more with Smash Bros. Like alternate costumes for existing characters, um, or just like reskinned like they introduced Echo Fighters as a thing, and then they didn't introduce any new Echo Fighters. Well, no, they did. We had Daisy and Dark.
Daisy wasn't added in Ultimate, right?
Yeah, Daisy was added in Ultimate.
Huh.
Daisy was not in Smash 4. That's for sure. You get Daisy, Dark
Yeah, but
Samus.
didn't you have like the Peach skin that just looked like Daisy?
Yes.
The same, anyways.
Yeah. But like they didn't do
She
more.
kinda was.
They really. I thought they were going to do more with that. There really wasn't that many. Who else was an Echo Fighter? Lucina, but Lucina was like already in the previous Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, I think they mentioned they didn't
Doc
really want to add many
was, but no, Dr. Mario
Echo
wasn't.
Fighters at some point.
Dr. Mario wasn't an Echo Fighter, which I don't know. Crom was an Echo Fighter for Roy?
Roy? Sure
For
about
one
that?
of the other ones. One Fire Emblem character was
One of
an
the
Echo
Fire
Fighter.
Emblem characters.
And that's it, I think. And it's just like they could do so much more with that, where it's basically just a reskin of an existing character. I mean, a lot of people predicted Sonic and Knuckles. You could do Wii Fit Trainer and Waluigi.
Yeah, but then it just gets terrible idea, first of all. But then it just gets more and more difficult to find the character you actually want. Sometimes I have to spend like 30 seconds trying to find the character I want to play as.
Yeah, but I feel like that's also a
It's
fixable
real
problem.
rough.
I think that's also a fixable problem. One thing that they did in this in Ultimate that I'm not a fan of is you pick the stage and then pick your character. But because of that, each new round it automatically deselects the character, so you have to go in and reselect it every time. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's annoying. Like, it should just have the last one that you were on. I understand when you first fire up like, this was a thing in all the previous games. It's like, when you're first in, you pick it, and then in subsequent rounds, you can choose to take it off and change it to something else. It, like, goes to that screen, but if not, then you just go through to the next.
This way, you choose the stage, and then you can choose a good character for that stage. When before, someone would pick Little Mac, and then you do, like, the Pokey Floats. That require
Right.
bajillion jumping, and Little Mac
Right.
just falls to their death.
You can still do that,
as an example.
but have on the character menu, have the character you were playing in the last round saved. So
That
you don't
doesn't make sense.
so it doesn't take it off.
Seems like too much effort at that point.
No, it's not. What are you talking about? I just don't like that because when, like you said, when the character selection screen is that big and there's just so many, which you can organize it so the Echo Fighters are just like they're on the same slot as the fighter they are an Echo for, so it wouldn't make it that much different. But I'm just surprised they didn't do more Echo Fighters, more alternate costumes for existing characters. Like, why didn't we get for Mario? There's like an N64 model version of Mario, or they did that in Mario Odyssey. There were so many costumes in Mario Odyssey, or Link with different armor sets. Like, yeah,
I mean, they already had like 7 different Links in that game.
yeah, they all wear the same looking armor except for the Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom Link. He has 2, at least. It alternates between the Champion's Tunic and the Tunic of the Wild, I think is what it's called. But yeah, they could do so much more without having to make brand new characters. And instead they're putting in these PNGs of Zagreus, which is very cool, but it just doesn't seem like it adds much. Adorable Will in the chat. Shout out to Fedora Will, who says, I see you're trying Twitch stream together. Yes, we are. It's very great. And so if you're watching the video version of the podcast, you can see our handles underneath. It actually shows me as Nintendo Pals instead of Andros1. But it shows Micah's handle, so you can go find Micah at Micah Prime. Yeah, we're trying it out. We like it. Like it so far. Cool stuff.
Except that I have to use Chrome. They don't let the background be dark for some reason. So I have to squint a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Next news item is an announced orchestra concert
you should be excited
for The Legend of Zelda. I am very excited for this. And it's a pre-recorded performance, so that's a bit of a bummer. I don't know where it's probably in Japan. You don't have to
worry about them messing up.
Probably,
or having a heart attack.
Yeah. But that'll be really cool. always down for more Zelda music. The orchestral versions of the songs they do are always really good. So can't complain there.
Yeah. Speaking of concerts and whatnot, the Splatoon 3 Deep Cut concert that was previously scheduled for the Nintendo Live 2024 Tokyo will be held on February 10th.
Mm. So more
Like
tune into the
back to
YouTube
back
channel. Yeah.
concerts.
Yeah. But on that note, the paid DLC expansion for Splatoon 3, which is Side Order, I believe is what it's called, is dropping Thursday, February 22nd.
Oh, I read that it's January at first. I was like, what the heck? That already came out? How did I not know about this?
Nope.
Next
One
month.
one
Okay.
month away. So yeah. It feels like it's been forever. Doesn't it?
It has been a while.
It's been a long time. It's weird how long that's taken, but better late than never, I suppose. Hit us with our next news item, Michael.
Hmm. We got so many news items, though.
We do. We can rapid fire.
Well, Koji Kondo selected as a Hall of Fame inductee at the 27th DICE Awards.
Nice. In addition to that, Nintendo announced additional content for F-Zero 99 is now available on NSO. For NSO members. Yeah.
Added some secret tracks, which, I mean, that's cool, I guess. Don't know what that means, but private lobbies, which I assume means you can just play with your buddies now.
Yeah. Which is great. Tetris 99 has that.
I feel like last time we talked about this, we mentioned that's kind of a bummer they didn't have it. So
yeah.
They must have heard the podcast.
They listen. Yeah, we know they listen to what we do here. Are you debating on which one to go to next?
Speaking of listening, there's a superstar themed prize package sweepstakes thing taking place at the Nintendo online thing. I forget what it's called. It's just My Nintendo, right?
Yeah, where you can win a plushie Starman and a Mario Kart figurine with also a Star Power-A controller and case.
Like a really distracting Power-A controller. I literally can't even see 90% of the buttons. There's just like so much going on that. It's pretty cool.
And then friendly reminder to Micah and Micah doesn't need the reminder, but friendly reminder to everybody is that we just had the anniversary for the development update.
Sad music queued up
on. Yeah, I do actually. Let's say it. Development update on Metroid Prime 4. It is once again the anniversary of when they restarted development on Metroid Prime.
The 5th year, right?
Yes, it's very sad. Man, this has got to be the year, right?
Heartbreaking is what it is.
This has got to be the year, right? And
I don't even.
All right. Well, let's just move on. We don't need to dwell on it. We will just look to a brighter future with Metroid Prime 4 in it. What else we got?
Well, we got some cool sales happening on the eShop.
Oh.
I assume that some of them are cool, at least. I just know there are some.
Oh, so this goes on from January 25th to February 7th. You can get upwards of, I'm seeing like 50% off, a lot of 30% off, 70% off on some big titles. including Animal Crossing, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Splatoon 3 with the expansion pass, Disney's Illusion Island, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Oh man, good memories here. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker special episode. Remember when I bought that for $5 and got the whole game? That was a pretty great
You
time.
didn't even tell me
It was on Discord.
until
It
after.
was for everybody. Yeah, well, I didn't think I even got it. That was a fun time. Go back and listen to that episode. I'm sure it's recorded somewhere in the archives of Nintendo PAL history. Clubhouse 51 Games.
Sea of Stars.
Outer Wilds. It's on there. That maybe jump on for that. Ooblets. That's another good one. There's so many good games on sale. Holy cow. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, go check out the Jumpstart January sale going on right now on the eShop. And next for news items, we've got
The best news item of all.
which one are you looking at?
The Capri Sun one.
Okay, that's what I thought we were talking about. Capri Sun teaming up with Nintendo. That's right. We're gonna get Nintendo themed Capri Sun things.
Assuming just affects the packaging and not the flavors.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
don't
it's
know what
just
a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe flavor would be.
It says fruit punch on
that's
it.
the fruit punch.
On the packaging. So, does it do anything?
I don't think so.
The packaging is part of the Slurp and Win sweepstakes. Combines. Yeah. Fans can scan the QR code on the special edition Brandon Capri Sun cartons for a chance to win one of 500 Nintendo Switch OLED systems and a download code for a digital version of the game. That's not that many.
Oh. Not with how many are actually being sold, but I mean, if I bought 500 Switches, that would be a lot.
Yes, that is a lot of Switches, but odds are not great. Anywho, Next news item.
We got some more Splatoon news. There's an extra work event happening next weekend from the 2nd of February to the 4th. And it will take place at Ruiner's Bay, and they have a picture of the items. I think it might be the Dynamo Roller, potentially the S-Blast, maybe the Classic Swiffer, and also maybe the Splooshomatic.
Nice.
I don't 100% know their names, but I think those are the ones, based off the pictures at least, but I think those are the ones.
Well, while you are helping a corporate grizzly bear take over the world, you might also want to check out shops dropping Amiibo for a re-release of the Breath of the Wild Guardian Amiibo, which is a very cool Amiibo. It's one of the biggest ones that you can get, and it has posable arms. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tempted by this.
It's real cool.
It is very cool. And I think that does it for news. So let's get out of the realm of news and into the realm of rumor. It's the rumor mill. The rumor Pikmin have brought us back something kind of exciting. And that is GameCube. Micah's research ears have gone. Yes, it's trademarks filed in the UK having to do with the GameCube controller and button design which could mean several things. First, it could mean nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And second, it could mean GameCube coming to NSO. And third,
With a nice sweet
it
controller.
could mean a new Smash Bros. Is on the way, because this controller will always be sold with Smash Bros. Doesn't matter. We're gonna be in
It's the best.
2055, like plugged in to VR, playing Smash Bros. Like Smash Bros. Forever, and that's gonna be the title. It's gonna be Smash Bros. Forever. They're gonna be like, wow, this is cool, and we're still
That
gonna be
is a
using
really good
GameCube controllers for that. In VR somehow, we're gonna have it.
I mean, they might at that point they might just be digital GameCube controllers that you control with your mind.
Yeah.
But they'll still be there.
They'll
in
still
some
be there.
shape or form.
Yep.
Well, the same shape and form. Well, same shape, maybe different form.
So, yeah, that's exciting. Any other rumors you want to talk about, Mike?
I know there's one I saw at some point. There's some rumor about there'll be 10 million next generation Switch consoles available at launch or something.
That doesn't seem like
Or
enough.
10
Wait a
10
second.
million plus.
Okay, I was like, wait a second. The Switch has 100 million. Wow.
Yeah, those didn't all happen in the launch window.
Yeah, I mean, 7 years though, right? Wait, how long has it been out now? 8? It came out in 2017.
So about 7 then, right?
Yeah. So 7 years, 10 million per year is not on par with production.
Well, they didn't say per year, just at launch. So they'd have that many made already, but they'd be continually making more.
Yes, that's what I'm saying though. Is like that doesn't seem like enough. I just don't want it to be like the Wii. Remember that? Do you remember how hard it was to get a Wii? I remember how hard it was to get a Switch. It was so hard. Except for you. You had an easy time. You just walked in and bought it, right?
Well, no.
Or
I
did
didn't
you
get
pre-order?
Switch at launch. I pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't pre-order either. I got it at some point.
Yeah.
It's like it was the Wii U. I wasn't even planning on getting it. I just walked into a store and saw it, and I was like, "Oh, some Wii U's on the shelf right here. Should probably get one."
Which was a great
And
decision.
I don't regret it for a day.
No regrets.
Nintendo
because the
Land
Wii U is a great
itself,
system.
only that.
And we won't hear anything otherwise. People like to slander the Wii U for absolutely no reason.
I had that competitive advantage on Black Ops 2. I could use the gamepad as the entire minimap. It showed everything. You shoot anywhere on the map, and I knew exactly where you were.
I don't.
Actually,
The problem wasn't with the Wii U itself. It was with Nintendo.
The marketing.
Yeah, marketing
Yeah.
and the lack of games. There was definitely a lack of games for the system. So
What more games do you have when you have Nintendo Land?
that's true. What an incredible pack-in title. It's so sad how little that game is appreciated.
Yeah,
'Cause it
how
does a
few people have played
fantastic-
it.
Well, I have no transition for this, but Aonuma was spotted at the construction of Universal, or at Universal with Miyamoto. So there's been a lot of rumors, a swirling of a Legend of Zelda themed area being added to the Nintendo portion of Universal Parks. And yes, give it to me. I want all of it. I want a Zelda themed area so bad. Universal, make it happen. Make Hyrule Castle one we can walk in. That'd be so cool. I want to see Ganondorf walking around.
Just randomly punching people. Because that's a Ganondorf thing to do.
Man, I can just imagine it being so cool. So cool. But that's all rumor. as Third Strongest Mole put it in Discord, which I like, he's like, Aonuma just wants to be the first in line to ride Donkey Kong. And who wouldn't want to be the first in line to ride Donkey Kong? It just seems so cool. And that's it for rumors. We didn't talk a ton about it. There was an article posted by Bloomberg. Bloomberg about the upcoming the Switch successor returning to the LCD screen versus the OLED. But I don't take Bloomberg's... I don't take anything Bloomberg says seriously because they absolutely destroyed all trust I have thanks to Switch Pro rumors. Overhyping Switch Pro. They were just wrong. They were so wrong in all their rumor mongering. Anywho, that's it. So let's head to the community corner. Do we have any questions in the community corner this week? I don't see any.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
What the what? Hey, hit us up with questions. Join us up on our Discord, or you can reach out to us on any of our social medias. Nintendo Pals is our handle everywhere. You can find us. We're there. We're out there, and we are excited to answer your questions. We also did not get any direct responses to our last week we asked you question, and that's because I forgot to post it again. So I'm just going to forward it again.
Like 40 minutes ago?
Yeah. So here's next episode's question. If Nintendo characters attended high school together, who would be the popular kid, the class clown, the overachiever, the rebel, the jock, the nerd? Give us a stereotypical high school movie cast, but use Nintendo characters to fill it in. High School Musical.
Luigi's got to be the jock, though, right?
Luigi?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think usually the jock is someone that's like really big and really popular. So maybe like Donkey Kong? Wait, Donkey Kong basically was a jock in the
He was a jock in the movie, for sure.
Yeah. That's Waluigi would be like the outcast. He's like the kid that sits by himself.
Hopefully very far outcast.
But there you go. That's next week's question. We'll react to your responses here. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say for us. I'm checking real quick to make sure I didn't miss any questions that were asked to us. We do have a couple of things, some follow-ons that were given later to previous questions, including who should Kirby copy his abilities from. We have from Daisy Rose, Kratos from God of War. Can you imagine Kirby Kratos?
From which God of War, though? Is this like early, very angry Kratos?
Or new angry dad Kratos?
Wise. Yeah.
I like this answer. I don't know. What would the special be? I guess just like the blades, like the chaos blades. And then he stabs you through like the eyes, and like it's very gory and bloody.
I think it potentially rips off a limb or something.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that happens in like multiple points.
Man, that would also be really cool for if they put in like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, which I'm surprised they didn't do. Like they put in Street Fighter, and they put in Tekken. They literally just spat on Mortal Kombat. They're like, you guys aren't worthy of being in this game. Patooey.
Mortal Kombat already has its movies and stuff. I guess actually doesn't Street Fighter have a couple movies? They don't have new movies.
Yes, that's true. Neither did Mortal Kombat until very recently, and none of them were all that fantastic. But the music.
Plus, Scorpion says, "Get over here" in the movie. It's awesome.
Get over here. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If Kirby sucked up Scorpion, that would be what he gets is
The
the
line, yeah.
and he throws the stabby chain. Get over here. Can you imagine that in Kirby's
Good
voice?
old
Get
stab
over here.
chain.
like a little cute Kirby voice.
Nah, it would definitely be like the deep scorpion voice. Just really out of place with his body.
We also got another follow on to that one from Ghost. Says this counts as multiple, but all the Looney Tunes.
Be he'd be extra unkillable.
They do have Bugs Bunny in that one Smash Bros. Clone.
I don't remember any of the names.
I don't remember.
Something Brawlers is one of them.
I just refuse to play multiverses because they never added Lord of the Rings characters. The cowards. They showed them in the early access. Boo. And then also follow-ons to a past question. Theme park rides. Daisy Rose suggests a Zelda roller coaster based off of the Death Mountain one in Tears of the Kingdom.
Do they give you a bow?
Oh, you have to like shoot things on it. I know there's a roller coaster that's kind of like
Probably
that.
not a real bow.
Yeah, I know there's a roller coaster that's kind of like that at like Marvel Campus at Disneyland, where you play Spider-Man. You have like a web shooter and you're like shooting things while on the roller coaster. Could be cool. I think that's probably too similar to the Donkey Kong one, though.
Oh yeah, more mine carts.
Yeah.
And tracks.
But what else could they do?
Hmm.
Maybe it's just
like
the
a glider.
Yeah.
Skydiving.
Did you ever do? Have you ever been on Soarin', the Soarin' ride? It's at Disneyland and Disney World. Well, it's basically like a 3D. It's not really 3D. You don't wear glasses or anything. It's a movie projected on a screen, and then there's like fans above you that blow like smells and things as you're flying.
Oh, nice.
And you're hovering off the ground.
4D experience.
Yeah, kind of like a 4D movie experience that makes it feel like you're gliding around the world. That would be really cool for Hyrule. You're like flying to all these different spots. Just go to all.
You could fall in. You could start the Sky Islands and end in the depths.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then it ends at like the final fight. You know what I'm talking about for Tears of the Kingdom? Like you like come out and you're like in the middle of that as it's going around. That would be...
I was just thinking you're in the depths and Gandalf pops out and then it just ends. They're like, okay, leave the ride.
Well, dang it. I'm wishing things into existence that aren't going to happen that I really think would be cool. Soarin' over Hyrule. That would be a cool ride. Thank you for the suggestion. And then I think that's it for that. So let's jump into the PAL topic. All right, there's been some controversy, Micah. Some controversy around a game that you and I played. So let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the controversy. Let's talk about our thoughts. Kind of all mishmashed into one. That's right, it's Palworld, a.k.a. Pokemon with guns. Where should we start here? Let's talk about our experience with the game. How'd you like it?
I thought it was pretty good.
Give the worst reviews. It's the same review every time.
Only if they're pretty good. Hey, ask me to give a review of Ocarina of Time. I can do one for that.
I refuse. I'm not going to do that.
Hey, it's actually not really that good. It's not as good as you remember.
Well, tell us about Palworld. What is it? And
it's a game. You can play with your pals, and you can also eat pals. So, what more do you need from a game?
Yeah, this is a survival. I mean, it's a multiplayer game. It can be played solo, but it's a survival. What do you call this genre
Monster
of game?
collection.
Survival monster collection game, base building. Uh, think Valheim or Don't Starve or I think 7 Days to Die is another one that's kind of in this similar vein, where it's like you can play together to basically build up a base in a world, and there's goals and different upgrades you can do. Uh, but the twist on top of this is that there's creature capturing, similar to Pokemon. And I'd say it's specifically similar to Pokemon Legends Arceus, where they're running around out in the wild and you can run up behind them and catch them. You can choose to engage in fights with them, but it is not turn-based battling. It's you can throw out your Pokemon and they will help you fight it because you fight the Pokemon. the pals, they're called pals.
The pals, yeah.
Yeah. You
yeah,
fight
if you don't
the
have any pals yet, you just have to use a stick or something to.
Or your bare hands. You can just punch them.
The pals, so you can catch them.
Yeah. So there's no turn-based combat. It's more like what would you say the combat is like? Dark Souls. It even
Monster
has
Hunter.
anything where you're like fighting monsters and you have to roll. It's like, oh yeah, it's very Souls-like. I mean, you do die and you lose all your stuff to that spot that you have to go back and collect it.
Yeah, but then you can go pick it up at least.
Which is just like Dark Souls.
Yeah, except I'm pretty sure if you die again, that stuff doesn't disappear.
Oh, I don't know. We haven't tried. I haven't died twice in a row, so I don't know. It kind of. I saw a comment on a video that said Palworld feels like you're playing every early access game at the same time, and I like that description. It does feel like it's just doing so many things. It does it well. Ooh, oh, Fedora Will has a great comparison in the chat. Yeah, Ark. People have been comparing it to Ark. Yeah, it's a very good comparison. It does all that stuff pretty well. I think the creature capture mechanics are fun. You can lower the difficulty of you can raise the catch rate, lower the difficulty of catching things by lowering things' health, also by sneaking up from behind. And then your pals are not only used as like companions that you can bring out into battle, you can actually put them to work in your camp, and they will help craft items and harvest food. So you can like set up like a farm and all these things. And they actually like respond to the working conditions. If they have a bed, they're happier. Like so you can't just be a horrible.
Sometimes they just take breaks.
Yep.
Don't want to work.
Yep. So it's kind of like I don't know. It feels like a very alive world and game. I don't know why the pals are just automatically like, yeah, I'll just do anything you say. That's the power of the Pallidium or whatever the
Paldium.
The Paldium. That's
the
power of
Paldium.
Paldium.
Pal spheres.
Paldium can really convince not only pals but people to work for you. That is one thing that we both heard about before the game even was out, but you can capture people in Pal Spheres.
But they're bad people, if it makes you feel any better.
I think you can capture good people too.
Yeah, that's actually probably true.
Yeah.
You can be the bad person if that makes you feel any better.
I think we are the bad person. I'm not gonna lie. It was really hard for my first pal to get its health down low to catch it. It's like sorry, I have to do this. And they
You're
just come up with a stick. I'm
you're
just like,
really just
ah! It's just like beat it with a club.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
then
it's
they
straight up
just the
Valheim. Like
resting.
you even have like club and like it's so funny.
Spear.
It's so funny. Uh, and then the Pokemon or the pals. Gosh, dang it! This is a mistake we're making. The pals, you the the pals faint permanently.
Become
They
incapacitated.
become incapacitated if their health gets knocked down. We accidentally kill a lot of pals, knock them out.
Incapacitate.
Yeah, their
But
bodies like
if
I
your
I
pals
love
get
the
incapacitated, you just put them in the PAL box or whatever, and 10 minutes later, they're right as rain. So,
yeah. So it isn't killing them. It isn't killing them because they can be revived. But it is pretty funny when Lamball gets completely knocked out and just rolls away.
rolls down a
It's
hill.
just a giant ball. So yeah, have I described the game accurately enough? You think, Micah?
I think these are pretty good.
What do you think of the designs of the pals?
Well, I mean, some of them do look very similar to Pokemon, for sure. I mean, and the art styles are very similar, but I think there are some that are definitely unique enough
Yeah, yeah, and they're really
that they
cool.
don't deserve so much hate
Well, I just
about
want to
it.
say that I like all the
Maybe a little
designs.
bit.
I like all the designs. They look like Pokemon, which some people take issue with, but they are all unique designs. Some of them are very heavily inspired by certain ones, but then other ones are I think like you said unique enough. And they're going for the same style. And yeah, so I guess that's kind of a good segue into the controversy surrounding this game. So there are a couple points we can talk about with controversy surrounding Palworld, but let's talk about first the design of the pals. A lot of people getting upset that they copied Pokemon. So I want to hear your thoughts on this, Micah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, if I enjoy the game, why would I care? Assuming they didn't just like straight rip off assets and whatnot, to clarify.
Well, Nintendo actually, well, Pokemon Company has officially responded by saying, "We've this has been brought to our attention, and we intend to investigate." There were people surmising that 3D models were just straight ripped and morphed to make the PAL designs, but none of that is proven. And even if it was, I'm kind of in the spot. Like, yes, it's not good to steal assets, but if they took and changed, like, made their own asset, I don't know. Stealing assets is not good. That's for sure. But making something look incredibly similar, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And things that look similar. Pokemon doesn't own the idea of a creature capture game. Just because they're the biggest and arguably the best in that sphere doesn't mean they can like monopolize it and they're the only ones that can make Pokemon like games. And a lot of people go, well, the design is just too heavily inspired. And you know what? If that's your prerogative, like if that's how you feel, then power to you. But I think in the eyes of the law, which who really cares? But in the eyes of the law, they're not doing anything wrong, and it's a fun game. It's a fun game. The designs are really good. I think getting upset at the designs taking too much inspiration is counterproductive to the creative process. Now, let's say Palworld was but like taking heavy inspiration from like a singular artist that that their work wasn't very appreciated, and they basically just like stole their ideas. Like I feel like that's different than the Pokemon Company being like the biggest media franchise in the world, and they're taking inspiration from them. Like, how many games take inspiration directly from other games? I think it happens all the time, and nobody cares this much.
Yeah.
So, a couple examples I can think of, like right off the bat. I mean, Sonic was like a direct answer to Mario, right? Like they were like, yeah, let's make our own 2D platformer where you go from A to B and
But fast.
but fast.
And also make him cool.
And would you argue they use like kind of a similar-ish art style? I think they went pretty unique with how they designed Sonic. Maybe that's not a good example.
Yeah.
How about Call of Duty versus Battlefield versus CS:GO? Like all of those games look extremely
90% of shooters.
yeah, all of those games look extremely similar. There are lots of Zelda clones that look very similar. We had Genshin Impact, which marketed itself as a Breath of the Wild like game, and that game's extremely popular and also nothing like Breath of the Wild at the end of the day. What was the other one? Do you remember that other Zelda clone that Ubisoft made?
Wasn't Oceanhorn out of Ubisoft, or is that...
No, that was like more indie.
Yeah.
It's like the one with...
That's the only other one I could think of.
No, it's like the one with like Greek gods.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising. Yeah, so Phoenix Rising is another one where it's like, this is heavily inspired by Zelda, and people weren't throwing this big of a fit. Like there were people that were like, "Oh, this is too heavily inspired." But why?
It's just knockoff Zelda. It's not going to be good.
Yeah,
but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's these are all like good games. Why knock something for being inspired by something else? I think this is reason to celebrate. For one, Pokemon has been top dog for too long, and arguably has been too comfortable.
A little stagnant.
Yes. And so some healthy competition would be good, I think. And a game like Palworld that's come out and broken record after record for Steam sales and concurrent players is something that will wake up the Pokemon Company to go, oh, we could be doing this.
Maybe we should add guns to our games.
Maybe we should add guns. Hopefully it's kind of a wake-up call to them to make games that aren't as buggy on launch, which like Pokemon already had with Scarlet and Violet. There was kind of the viral negativity towards the game, which you and I both enjoyed the game and like it.
Yeah.
But it did the glitches went viral, the visual and kind of bad lookingness of the game. And I'd say Palworld looks pretty good. So I think this is good. This is good for Pokemon fans because competition will hopefully make a better future Pokemon game as they go. Ooh, and they like ideas get taken back and forth. Look at Fortnite, PUBG, and Apex Legends, constantly stealing ideas from each other. They're like, "Ooh, I like that idea. I like that idea." They build up, and all three have become better games out of that. Mostly Fortnite kind of just stole everything and continues to just steal things, including their dances and stuff. And it makes good games. Like I am a firm believer in the Ludwig calls this the yoink and twist, and I would say that who's the company that makes Palworld? It's like Pocket
That's a good question. I actually have no idea.
Pocket something. They yoinked Valheim, really. Pocket Pair, and then they yoinked Pokemon and they twisted them together to make a new thing that combines elements of different existing things. So that side of the controversy, I personally don't agree with. And I played the game. I see a lot of people going like, "This is just knockoff Pokemon." It's not. This game is not like Pokemon at all. There's not gym badges. There's not routes with like trainer battles. This is a survival game that has some like Pokemon-like creatures in it. The pals are like, they don't feel central to the game. Like you could take the pals out of this game and it would just be kind of a boring survival game. Not even really boring. It would still be pretty fun, but like that's what it is. It's a survival game. I even saw people in our Discord talking about it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's just like knockoff Pokemon." Some people said it was basically. I think it was Kid Fiasco said it was a carbon copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I say nay. Nope. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a creature collection game. There is no crafting, really. I think you do craft Pokeballs.
Yeah.
But that's it,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they have. I'm trying to think.
But you're not.
Well,
You're
you
not.
can craft like potions and things.
Yeah, but you're not like making a base
No,
or really
you're not,
going
like,
out and exploring an open world. It's like zones, and the goal is to collect all the creatures. The goal of Palworld.
Yeah, but what is an open world if not just a really big zone?
True.
I mean, the zones are pretty big.
I just think that like fundamentally the games play completely differently. For one, they were like, no, we don't want to do turn-based battles. They don't have turn-based battles at all. Even like the boss fights.
I mean, it's kind of similar to Arceus, but they just add other things to it.
Yeah.
With like the base building.
And
so
the fighting.
You take a bigger role in the fighting.
Yeah, the fighting is completely different. It's completely different. I don't think it's even remotely similar to a Pokemon game because it focuses on you and your characters helping you. Hence the guns. You get the guns. And you can give your creatures guns. Also, there's a paraglider. That's pretty cool. That's Zelda. They're taking from Zelda now. Why is nobody complaining about that?
Pals as a glider. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think that all that piece of this controversy, a little overblown. I think that the game is actually really good, solid, stands on its own. I wouldn't compare it to Pokemon at all, other than they have Pokemon in them. But I just feel like they're completely different genres of game.
They play pretty different.
Yeah, wildly different. So then, more controversy. Palworld is using AI generation to make their game. They're using AI, and AI is bad, according to Twitter. Or X, whatever they call themselves over there. I think this is pretty easily disproven. They may be using AI, and at which point it's like, who cares? Who cares if they are? Why is that a big deal? I know there's like the whole like AI is stealing from artists and there's issues with that. But the art is definitely not AI generated. So because they have a full art team, and this game was announced way before generative AI was mainstream. Because I think this was first announced like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Generative AI didn't get to the point where it is at currently, where it can generate artwork on the scale to make this. And this is all in 3D as well. It's like it was just baseless accusations. There's no proof. There's no proof. I think the proof comes from Pocket Pair's like CEO being kind of
made a comment.
Yeah.
Made some comment about how AI can take an image and change it enough to get past like copyright laws and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which I feel like maybe isn't the greatest thing to say.
Yeah. But I think he's just a developer excited about AI. You and I are software guys by trade. We both graduated with software engineering degrees. And I personally feel like AI is going to be a really cool technology that will enhance the work for a lot of people. I don't like the idea of CEOs and whatnot that are all going, like AI will get AI to replace people. But I mean, this is just kind of how it goes around with a lot of new tech. Things get streamlined and like I use AI for my work. I can use AI to help do my job faster and easier. So does that cut down the work that could be given to somebody else? Like, yeah, but then somebody has to maintain the AI. Somebody has to keep that up. It's like getting upset at an excavator for digging dirt when we could have paid 100 people to do that with shovels.
People with shovels.
Yeah, it's like, do we really want that? Like,
actually, what we should have done was just get a whole bunch of dogs.
Yeah,
like the pound or something.
Buried bones
That's what
under there.
Should have done. It's a win-win.
Your Palworld's really affecting you and your real world logic.
Well, I mean, if
real world Palworld,
they're gonna be stuck in the pound, all sad, potentially put down, but now they get to work for a company and get affection from all the workers and food.
Yeah, so I think the AI argument, this is just trying to throw Palworld into the fire of debating AI, and I don't think it's necessary. That's a discussion that's totally separate, and I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, AI is not there where it's going to take my job. Could be there in the future, but they're still going to need someone operating it. It's like, and someone helping me. Like, I mean, just before this, we were using ChatGPT to help generate some ideas for the title of last week's episode, and it was horrible. They were terrible titles. Like, yep, nope, I'm just gonna use my own. I'll just make up my own title. So it's cool, and it could not make this game, is what I'm saying. Is like they needed talented people, maybe using AI, but there were definitely talented people putting this game together. And this is all in Japan as well. Pocket Pair is like a Japan-based company, so. And I'm not sure how AI is really viewed in Japan. I think it's viewed very differently than here in the West. I don't know. It's cool tech. And so Pocket Pair CEO being excited about it is pretty normal for a tech guy, I think. So don't take that as like, oh man, his game must be made using AI. It's just no, he's just excited about the technology. Uh, so that I think can be pretty disproven. There's no evidence that they've done that. And then any other controversies around this? I know there was the stolen assets, and people like took and said, "Look, if you change this model here, and you take this existing Pokemon design and change it here, it's now the PAL." And that seemed pretty convincing, especially to like untrained eyes. But then it came out later that that person had kind of faked their evidence. They fudged the results a little bit to seem like they were stealing. And the reasoning they gave, they didn't like the abuse of animals portrayed in Palworld. I was like, what the heck? That has nothing to do with this. They were just trying to slander the game. So there was just a lot of people trying to slander it, and I don't think it's really warranted. Yeah. That's our take. I feel like we took a firm stance kind of in favor of Palworld. Oh, wait. I want to talk about this, actually. I want to talk about the controversy on the whole. Why the heck are people out here defending Nintendo and Pokemon? I feel like every other time Nintendo comes in with any sort of IP anything, everybody gets mad. And now all of a sudden, people are like, why isn't Nintendo suing? It's like, we don't want them to do that. What do you mean? Why are people all of a sudden on their side? Listen, giant corporation Nintendo company does not care. And they don't need our help fighting legal battles. They're like a super litigious company. They constantly are suing people all the time. If there's a problem here, they will find it on their own and take care of it. We don't need armchair developer experts on Twitter or whatnot like coming out and helping Nintendo spot what's wrong. This is just so baffling to me. Like that this blew up in this way. And you know what it's doing? It's selling more copies
Driving
of Palworld.
sales.
Yeah, exactly. You people don't learn your lessons. The same thing happened with Hogwarts Legacy. Controversy, sales. It just stacks.
All these people actually like Palworld, and they're just getting this controversy going to drive those sales.
Yep. So there we go. There are all my hot takes on that. Micah, give me your overall thoughts. How you feel? Are you as passionate about it as me, or?
No.
Yeah, you never are. But you seem like you have a pretty. What is your opinion overall?
I don't think they've done anything wrong. I mean, if we find out they have just like straight up stolen assets and then like change them a little bit, but I mean, there are so many Pokemon. Also, having a water type ish Pokemon that looks like a penguin, it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And if there's two penguins, they're gonna look pretty similar. Like, because our styles are similar. But I mean, there are definitely a few where I'm like, that looks maybe a little too similar. But for the most part, I think it's fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. And the game is so wildly different. I can't emphasize this enough, that the game is so wildly different than a traditional Pokemon game. The closest comparison we can make is to Legends Arceus, and it's not the same. It's not. Palworld is like it's going for such a different thing. It's a survival game. That's what it is. So I just, if they did, like, you remember Temtem? You remember Temtem?
Yep.
That game was extremely similar to Pokemon in how it played, in every way. And this is not even close to similar in its gameplay. So that's that's where I stand with it. I think you and I are both in agreement here. Palworld hasn't really done anything wrong. If more comes out and it's proven that it did, then it would get taken down. But I think it's more likely that they'll just change the design and send an update out. Because I think all Nintendo can really get them on is maybe some too close designs, which wouldn't be enough to close the game down. I think it would just make so they have to change the design of those Pokemon, those pals.
You're not helping your argument here.
I'm not. Yep. Also, we haven't got a gun yet. It takes forever to get a gun.
It's level like 19 or something.
Pokemon with guns. Doesn't even have guns in it. Yet.
Well, there were people shooting at us when someone in our group instantly punched someone.
Someone in our group.
Beginning. I don't remember
that
who
would
did
be this guy.
They,
this guy right here. Pointing at
Is there a mirror off to your side?
Nope. Anywho, that's what we got to talk about with the PAL topic this week. If you haven't tried Palworld and you are a Pokemon fan, give it a shot. It was, what, $30? I think this game is more than worth $30. It is not on Nintendo Switch. Will it be on Nintendo Switch in the future? Probably not. I think this game's too big. Looks like it's running too much. But maybe on the Switch sequel? Maybe. They put that one game that I've already forgotten the title of again.
Temtem?
No, Temtem is on Switch, but the Greek monster Zelda is on
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Immortals Phoenix Rising is on Switch, and that's a Breath of the Wild clone. It's like, at the end of the day, who cares? Just enjoy the games you want to enjoy. If a game is using stolen assets, that's not good, and we shouldn't support it. But if there's no proof that that's happening, then feel free to enjoy the Pokemon game that you always wanted. Because this is definitely delivering on something that Pokemon has not. It's a similar vein, but a different game. Micah, where can people find you on the interwebs as we close out this episode?
You can find me at Micro Prime on Twitch.
And you can find me gallivanting about on Andros1 on Twitch and YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and other platforms. You can also follow the show. You can also follow the show, Nintendo Pals, on all the social medias. Hey, and we want to give a huge thanks and shout out to our fantastic Patreon supporters. Sorting by. That's right. We want to give a shout out to each and every one of you. That's to Forsaken Voyager, Nick Lanoy, Fedorable Will, Monkey Thunder, Madison, a.k.a. Purple Riolu, Lava Plays, John Cummins from Retro Logic and Retro On Topic. Retro Logic On Topic? On Topic Retro. I said that backwards.
That's what it is, yeah.
K9 Cantina, Cosmic. Oh, hold on. Let me. I didn't have it sorted by active. So shout out to them. They aren't currently active, but they were. Lava Plays, John Cummins, Lil Miss 7, Tim, a.k.a. NeoPrime33, a.k.a. Nintendo Dad number 4, Seth Sturgill, who was on our episode last week. You guys should go check it out. Listen to it. Seth is fantastic. Cool guy. LPD, Brian Reese, a.k.a. Rizzle, Shannon, a.k.a. Spider Shan, Solo something. Well, he's just Solo now. He's shortened his name to just Solo. But we always remember the something about Solo. And, of course, the fantastic and amazing Mute Dog the Gamer. Thank you all so much for your support that you give to us. Hey, if you want to be a part of our Patreon supporters and get early access to episodes and other perks, including our Patreon Poke Rap, which we do most weeks, that needs to be updated. We'll get to it. Hit us up over at patreon.com/Nintendo Pals. And that's it, I think. I think that's everything. So, yeah. Huge thanks and shout out to Roger Pollard for the intro music and for our logo. And that is where we're going to call this episode. Until then, we all live in a Nintendo Pal world. Peace out, y'all.